Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, for these Kansas City Chiefs, they, of course, were Super Bowl champions 3 years ago. The win over the Niners in Miami. They fell to the Bucs in Tampa a couple years back. They had the blown lead in the AFC title game against Cincinnati last year. And now they're back, making their third trip to the big game in 4 years.
And their recent history only increases the urgency to try and win another Super Bowl title with this group.
Meanwhile, it took until Super Bowl 52 for the Eagles to lift the Lombardi Trophy for the first time, and not too many players are left from that squad 5 years ago, but this new group is looking to write a new chapter of Eagles lore.
Yeah, we certainly all remember that performance in the win over New England. Nick Foles throwing for 373 yards. Catching the Philly special that will go down as one of the most iconic play calls in Super Bowl history. Now they're back and looking to make it 2 titles in 6 years.
The hype and the talk is over. We're set for the big one. Super Bowl 57. Away we go from Arizona. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out of Texas Tech, getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
You can't help but continue to marvel at how well this man's career has gone so far. Now in his 5th season as KC starter, he's never missed a conference title game, and he's taking the field in his 3rd Super Bowl. Simply dominant, it's easy to envision him being one of the top quarterbacks for many years to come.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now left side on the swing pass. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy. It's not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The 2nd-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
I think we all heard about it in the offseason. There were many questions asking if Philadelphia might consider bringing in another quarterback to replace Jalen Hurts. He answered emphatically, "This is my team," and he led them to a Super Bowl appearance. A well-deserved moment for this quarterback who just kept his head down, kept working, and eliminated all the noise.
Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Hurts. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Let's go. 3.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. On a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 12 more yards there and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Hurts going to keep this himself. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. So that CD, that was impressive. He got out of 3, maybe 4 tackles there on his way to the end zone.
And a lot of times when you break a tackle or slip a tackle, it actually slows you down. That's what we were taught. If you don't make the play, make him stop his feet so someone else can get there and tackle him. But not here. He just kept right on going.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. One quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57. 7-0 is our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the second quarter. Throwing on 2nd and long. Mahomes, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because We don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Second down, back to Sanders. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Let's go now.
Hurts sets up to throw it. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Here we go.
2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And this is caught by Watkins. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20 from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Quick slant to Brown. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now Hurts will turn and signal for a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On 1st down, Hurts to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a
touchdown, Eagles. Quez Watkins in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for Kansas City. And not much went right in those first two quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they too didn't do a whole lot in terms of rushing efficiency in that first half, as you can tell by the numbers there. Both teams with some extra time to prepare during this long halftime break, but we're about ready to restart the second half of Super Bowl 57. So let's get back out to Arizona and Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
This is our time. This is our time.
These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Taking it about the 1. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin this third quarter. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away. It's a second down run with Sanders. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 49-yard line. They'll go again with Sanders. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he'll take this close to a first down at the Chiefs' 41. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Try and run for it with Sanders. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Sanders. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And there's just one quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the fourth quarter. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he'll take this close to a first down at the Chiefs' 20-yard line. 81 yards rushing for him now. A big part, no doubt, of why they lead in this Super Bowl.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On third down, they turn to Sanders, and he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Another run here with Sanders. And he'll find his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. He'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And that drive was going pretty darn well. 3 previous times, converted on 3rd down. But on that one, the defense rose up and said, enough of that.
Going for it with Sanders. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Passing lanes, tough to come by with so many defensive backs on the field here late in the game. And it's not just the number of bodies, it's their quickness and their agility that makes it tough to complete a pass.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. It would have been a first down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Eagles are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the first down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. KC's offense ready to take over. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores, want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On first down, Mahomes finds his man. It's Kelsey on the crossing route here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes flush to his right. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Now Mahomes. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th. Mahomes throwing on 4th. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Juju Smith-Schuster on the touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes. And the Chiefs are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Butker is on target, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. So time definitely not in their favor, down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And the Eagles are going to recover, and that might be enough to put a bow on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They're going to run this with a tight end. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in the city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.